Welcome to Read It and Screech.
I don't remember what I was supposed to say.
Let me pull it up.
Oh, you. That wasn't my role. Please make that a soundbite.
What?
I feel like people would pay to watch that. People who hate you. Someone from high school is just going to sit under their covers next to their husband in the dark watching Grace go.
First of all, who from high school hates me?
I don't know.
No.
There has to be at least one person who's like angry that you beat them at like a spelling bee.
First of all.
Or something.
No, I don't think anyone hates me.
Someone that like you took their spot at a basketball tournament or...
I take anyone's spot.
Okay, well, I don't know. And then they're just like waiting for, you know, when they're like waiting for you to get ugly or something. They're like, look at this weird video of her laughing. And we don't care because we posted it. That's the thing. That's the other thing. When I post weird shit and then people are like, look at you, your teeth are funny. I'm like, you think I didn't look at that? Like, I posted the video.
Are we still on your fucking teeth?
No, I'm just saying when you post a picture of yourself and you know you look ugly and they're like, you know you're ugly. No.
Welcome to Read It and Screech, where if you're too loud and have no standards, you can sit with us. I also think we should change that.
The premise of the show.
Welcome to Read It and Screech.
You didn't
Come
say-
sit with us while we do give...
You shouldn't say if you have no standards because
I know.
that make, but the...
I'm going to fix it. Welcome to Read It and Screech. Come sit with us while we give you the Cliff's Notes and the cringiest quotes and we go screeching all the way. This is the Tidbits middle-sode where we tell each other some weird shit. It's been so long that I don't remember who goes first.
Okay, well, I have been saving this.
Okay.
I am an avid shopper utilizer of Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
I buy and sell things on Facebook Marketplace, I would say pretty much every day. And I was searching rugs. And it's amazing to me how often people will sell things and they'll be like, excellent condition. And you'll read the whole thing. And then it'll say, except for. And then they'll list all the stuff that's wrong with it. But they want you to pay like a crazy price for it.
Excellent condition, except for that outline of a
right,
body.
The head that I left in the stove. So I'm like looking for a stove, and the guy was like, works good, right? So I said, I'm interested in this if all the parts work. And he goes, no. I was like, what? You said it worked in the ad, and then when I messaged you, you said it doesn't work. Why are you selling it?
Well, no, in his defense, works and works good.
He said it works good.
Differential.
I said, does it work? He said no.
He said, not only does it work, it works good.
He said it doesn't work at all.
Okay.
He said it works good in the ad. And then when I said, does all the parts work? He said no.
Okay.
So I found this rug. I was looking for a rug damaged with Aquaphor smeared all over it. Listen to the description because it gets better and better the longer it continues. Because if someone damages something, you'd think, either put it at the curb and give it to someone for free because they now have to clean the whole thing, right? No. This rug was in superb condition and very beautiful until our 2-year-old rubbed Aquaphor, a product similar to Vaseline, over about 2 square feet of area. We frankly don't want to bother with cleaning it. If you are up for cleaning it, then this purchase will be a steal. We keep a very tidy house, and after you deep clean this rug, I think you will have a fantastic and trendy rug. But they are still charging you for the rug.
How much?
$35. And it's a small area rug. It's the same price as all the other area rugs that I've seen on here. So they want full price for it. And they want you to clean it.
No,
and then they're like, if you can get the stain out, it'll be a good rug. They're not guaranteeing you can't get oil-based stuff out of rugs. That's not a guarantee.
Here's what occurs to me every single time I see like a suspect Facebook Marketplace posting is I'm like, who is married to a man?
Oh yeah,
whose train of thought is as such. Someone's gonna love this. Someone's gonna love
putting in all the work to give me my money back. You know that he's
sexist. You know he's like, oh, my wife's gonna love cleaning this toilet.
I know.
She's gonna love it.
That's that whole I bring in all the money and I don't count her free labor as any input.
It's very telling because clearly he thinks that the labor equals nothing.
Equals nothing. You just have to clean it. No big deal. Then you clean it and then sell it. You piece of shit. I'm not gonna give you. That happens to me all the time because.
I have a question.
Hold on.
No. I just thought something.
All the time. I rehab textiles. All the time. I fix textiles. It's like what I do. And people will sell me they'll try to sell me the most so like brand new quilts would be like $200, $500, like these beautiful things. They'll be like, I pulled this out of a barn. it will have a huge tear down it. It will need complete rehabbing. And they'll be like, well, I want $200 for it because I know you know what it's worth when it's finished. I still have to do all the fucking work. It's not worth any. Right now, it's trash. It could be burned.
They said this life of this quilt began at its conception.
Right. They're like, here's old fabric. Make it into a quilt and give me the money that you will make at the end. Bitch, it's trash right now. It is trash until I fix it. I'm doing you a favor. This is garbage until then. Garbage.
So I was a TikTok. This is a brand of like influencer, I guess, that I can't stand. And so this video that I saw, it was like a discussion. They probably have a podcast. And they were like, discussion of the day is.
It's like 5 people sitting at a table.
And they're like asking like each one in the group their opinion. Who comes first, your spouse or your kids? And people like think that is a legitimate debate topic.
I've seen that before.
And here's why it pisses me off.
I think it depends on which thing it is.
Well, hold on. Here's why it pisses me off. Look at yourself. Look at your life. In what context are you ever going to have to choose between your spouse and your children?
Fire.
And then it's just a logistical issue of the, typically
Lotus thinking.
Socially, it's usually accepted women and children first. So it's not a debate.
People in Palestine were shoving their families out the window, and then the dad died because he was the last one out the window.
Women and children, that's a societal standard. That's not a who comes first.
Some men don't like that.
I'm like, what kind of family dynamic do you have where you have to shit on one versus the other?
The one where they were talking about, they were doing the shitty boyfriend thing because they were like, who do you look like when you do the other gender filter? And so the girls were like getting like a goatee, and then they were like talking like that.
Yeah.
And she did the one, and she was like, I just get real mad when you feed the kids before me.
Yes.
There you go.
Again, but what?
There you go. There answers your question. And when do you have to pick the
that's
guy
my point. That's my point. Why do you have a family dynamic where it's one versus the other?
Because your religion tells you to.
Like, and why is it such like a
Southern Baptist
an argument that people are like, yeah, this is a good topic. This is a good topic.
Southern Baptist.
That's not a good topic to talk about. That's fucking weird. In what they're not.
Wait for your husband to get home and feed him before the kids, and then as you grow up, feed the oldest sons before the girls. There you go.
The Hunger Games in your home. Fuck.
There you go.
You're allowed to love members of your family equally. And you can also create a dynamic where it's like, if there's like, in a lot of places, you'll wait to eat till the person who served you sits down.
That doesn't happen
well, not in my house, because I have mommy special boys. I can't stand the fact that people think that's a legitimate topic of conversation. Is who comes first, your spouse or your kids? Fucking me, I come first.
Who comes first? Need to know.
Like if it's a safety issue, if one is causing the other to be in danger maliciously, I take the side of the person who's in danger. Like,
deck the 2-year-old over the adult.
Yes. if they're being malicious,
little shit.
If my son is like aggressively coming after Lando, I'm like, hey, you're in the wrong.
I got an idea.
I don't understand why one person
have
has
any
to be.
Kids.
Why does there have to be a class system in the home?
If you're worried about it, don't have one of them. Don't have a spouse or don't have kids, and you never have to pick one or the other.
Capitalism invades everything, even your house. One must be superior. One must be subservient.
We have to have a winner's circle. 1, 2, 3. Someone has to be on the podium.
Okay.
So, for your viewing pleasure, since this is another Facebook Marketplace post, and since you were looking for furniture, dog crate, the people build dog crate into furniture for like aesthetic purposes and stuff, and I found one, and I was like, oh, this will be nice.
Was there a child in it?
Someone saw this. I think it might have had a person in it. They had openly posted this on the internet. They were like, come buy this.
Are there wheels on it?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's just a tiny, scary jail cell.
It might be a dog crate. It's just in a really weird context, you know? A cage in a basement is a cage in a basement, you know?
I don't know if you can tell it's next to a toilet. So it looks like a prison.
A cage in a basement next to a toilet is just a cage in a basement next to a toilet.
Something's going on.
That is a gas can.
It looks gnarled. That is a toilet, and that is not on.
That is Jan Halpert. Here's what I need to know. What the fuck is the point of Dancing with the Stars? It makes me so angry. They're not stars.
No, they're not. At this point, they're not. They're very, very much.
They're not
Also,
stars.
is
It's
it the
Sarah
same?
Palin. It's Bristol Palin.
Hasn't she been on like 3 times?
I don't know, but it's like
They really want her to win. Is it the same question? Is it the same as The Masked Singer? Because I was people are very into The Masked Singer, and I was trying to figure out what was up with that.
Because The Masked Singer has like a larger component of audience participation because you're trying to guess who it is. So you're like, who in the world is this? Who in the world could this be? How fun that I get to listen to the person sing and do a little dance number, and I also don't know who it is. So it would be like the equivalent of if Dancing with the Stars was like in costume and you didn't know who they were. They'd be performing. It'd be very similar.
If they were just in a large donut.
Yeah. But no, Dancing with the Stars, and also they're ballroom dancing. Like, I could see, honestly, if it was like breakdancing with the stars.
They did it. That was what the America's Next Best Dance Crew was. The Jabberwockies was on it.
That was not good. Dancing with the Stars. That was just a dance reality competition.
It was a bunch of different, whatever.
It was a reality dance competition.
It was a reality dance competition. It was a bunch of groups.
Yes. Dancing with the Stars, they're supposed to be very famous already. And then the money goes to charity.
That's stupid.
It's so fucking dumb.
What if you were just like a really poor star and you needed the money?
The only worst...
Can I be the charity?
The only worst thing would be Bowling with the Stars.
Golf.
Bowling with the Stars.
Ping pong.
Or choosing paint colors with people you don't know that well. Because they're not really stars and it's a horrible activity. So I just thought...
Wallpaper's Anonymous.
That's the equivalent to me is picking out like a paint color with someone you don't know that well. That is the equivalent of Dancing with the Stars. Because they're not doing fun dances and they're not stars. It's filler. It's the packing peanuts of television.
Wow.
It makes me actually angry. When I see commercials for it, I'm angry. And when I see a celebrity do like an excited announcement, they're lying. No one is that excited for Dancing with the Stars.
I think they're usually just excited to get their name back out there again. Like if they haven't been, it's supposed to give them
they're probably recently canceled and glad that people are talking about the dancing and not the
trying to get their name
slurs they used on camera.
So this is funny. This was we were recently booking a vacation for someone's birthday, and I was reading I like to read the reviews because I don't ever want to pick somewhere sketchy. And so shout out to Kevin Chen 2 months ago on Google Reviews, because if you leave them, I'm gonna read them. They're for me. So please leave them. So Kevin says 2 out of 5. This is the funniest thing ever. So listen close.
I think you already read me this.
I did not.
Okay.
I read you a different one.
Okay.
I saved this one for today. Stayed here for 2 nights. The rooms were outdated, but that was not a big issue. The biggest thing is when I checked in, the front seat lady, not the front desk lady. She's in the car with you. The front seat lady would not stop saying timeshare hotel. Can I request a late checkout? No, this is a timeshare hotel. Do you have a toothbrush? Do you have toothbrushes or slippers? I forgot to grab it. No, this is a timeshare hotel. Is there breakfast? No, this is a timeshare hotel. Is there anything else you can say? This is a timeshare hotel. Like, I get it, but I still paid my money to stay here. Make me feel welcome instead of repeating this is a timeshare hotel over and over and over. My room is on fire. This is a timeshare hotel. No, this hotel is a joke with her working in it. Rooms 2 stars. Service 1 star. Location 5 stars.
You did read me that already.
No, I didn't.
You literally did.
I have no memory. I love my room is on fire. This is a timeshare hotel. 10 out of 10, Kevin. I loved that.
Was she also that Facebook group ruining people's dreams about mountain lions?
So then also there was, right after that, Derek said staff had bad attitudes and staring problems. One thing is clear, they don't like black people. So if you're like me, I would stay away.
I guess he's black.
I guess.
I'm going to describe to you a video of the genre of 5-minute crafts.
Our friends at 5-minute crafts.
Our good friends at 5-minute, our good friends and close collaborators at 5-minute crafts.
That video got a lot of traction for some reason.
So in this video, they took a cast of this lady's tits.
Okay.
They took the cast off and they let it dry. They filled...
I feel like I've seen this, but I think I saw it with a butt. Is it a chair?
Yeah.
I think I saw that with a butt.
Yeah, so they filled it...
With cement?
No. They put her tits in the cast. Then they took the cast off and they filled the cast with this squishy stuff that was the shape of the tits. And then they took the squishy stuff out.
It's not tits.
and then they covered it in like a plastic form, and then they took that out, and it was a chair. And your butt goes into her tit
yeah,
crevices.
I tell them to do that with butt with like plaster of Paris and concrete. They recycle.
Reuse. 5-minute crafts.
I think they took up. Are you ready for my next picture?
This is 5-minute crafts. They made a chair out of little squishy stuff in the shape of tits.
Are you ready for my next photo?
Yes.
You're really gonna like this.
I am not. Free Jesus pictures. Exclamation point. What's the description?
First off, it is an aesthetically pleasing photo spread of photos of Jesus.
With a leafy background.
It says, free Jesus pictures! Facebook Marketplace ad. Facebook approved this for a sale of items. It says door drop off. They will bring it to your home. They also were selling, I have her name.
Were they also selling little pamphlets that look like $100 bills?
No, she was also selling little books. She was selling the little Bible books and the Book of Mormon.
Oh, good for her.
So she's on her Mormon whatever. But
diversity, we love
that. The free Jesus pictures got me. Took me out. She said free pictures of Jesus, and it said like he'll be your friend or something.
Jesus said, "Hey, don't make good promises."
I'll bring this. She said, "I will drive this to you." Homegirl, no.
Are they the ones that will come to your house?
Mormons? Those are Jehovah's Witnesses. She should not be coming to your house.
That's smart. That's on demand.
It is now.
That's like targeted marketing right there.
Wild.
Okay.
These are the ones that drink the Dr. Pepper coffee soda creamer stuff.
This girl, she drives for DoorDash, and she keeps flashing people and jumping up and down like with her titties flopping. Yeah. So she'll be like, "Hey, here's your DoorDash," and they'll be like, "Okay," and she'll be like, "Hey, can you like hold on for 1 second?" And they'll be like, "Yeah, okay."
No, I will not hold on.
Pull her shirt.
I will not hold on for a second.
And her titties will go.
Why? They do that specifically?
No, bro. She does it, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's so silly and funny." And all the gross guys are like, "Oh, what's my DoorDash driver?"
Please do that again.
And I'm so disturbed. I'm like, that is a sex crime.
It is.
Imagine if it was a man and his wiener.
And it was just a ween.
He was like, "Hey, I've got something else to go with those fries."
First off, you would have called the police immediately. Firstly. Secondly,
I want to call the police on her. That is still a sex crime.
Immediately if she did that.
I'm so angry.
Do you know how often? It's like an intrusive thought that I have.
To pull your shirt up and flap your titties around?
I'm scared. That I'm like, if I'm just going about my business, I'm like, what if one of my boobs just fell out of my shirt? It's terrifying. I hate that. Okay, so you ready for one of the worst things that has ever happened on social media?
Sure.
I found a Facebook reel. On our way to the most important meeting of our life, this is also the last ever meeting for her, ...
Is it a dog about to die?
It is a baby. It is apparently the funeral meeting appointment for a baby. They filmed it, and you had me, and then you lost, because I know a lot of people film that, and they like to be like, "Come on our journey. This makes it easier for some people," whatever.
They filmed the baby?
No.
Oh.
I don't know. I didn't watch it. I don't know if they filmed the dead baby. Here's where you lost me. At what point would you need to use, and then someone else would click on the hashtag, are you ready? Baby funeral.
No.
Why did you type?
Did you click on it?
No.
Okay.
Why did you
type?
What
if you clicked on it and it was a bunch of people standing outside Planned Parenthood with the...
Why did you as a human person
sign.
type hashtag baby funeral? I was with you. Hashtag baby loss awareness. Hashtag infant loss support. Hashtag funeral planning. Hashtag fly away baby, a little bit weird. Hashtag angel baby, a little bit weird. Hashtag saying goodbye, it sucks. Hashtag heart baby. Hashtag cardiac baby. Okay, died of that. Hashtag grieving parents. Hashtag grieving fathers. People would click on these. Upset people. Hashtag baby funeral. You lost me.
Terrible. You need to click on it.
Like hashtag, that would be like hashtag dead baby. Like what? Hashtag loss of a child. We're back to that's okay again. But like hashtag baby funeral. Like the hashtag is what is like, because if you explain at the beginning, you were like, this is a baby funeral. Okay, it makes sense. But hashtag baby funeral?
Hashtag funeral for a baby? Is that better?
Right. If you have funeral for a baby, then people could be like, oh, I'm looking for like ideas for a funeral for a baby. But hashtag baby funeral? It's just a weird thing to type in 2023.
Pinterest board out of it.
Right. Like, why are you like hashtag baby Like, I was aghast. I was like, we as a people,
when you started talking,
nature has not taken its course. This is a wreck.
When you started talking, I legitimately thought you were going to show me a picture of like a live baby in the back seat who was dying, and the parents were like, this is the last, like people do with their dog, where they're like, Martha didn't know it was her last day, so we made it the best one. When you started that video, I thought they were doing that with their baby.
Who took her kid home to die and didn't tell him because he was dying of like cancer or whatever. So she said, we're just going to go home for the weekend. And then he died. She was like, we're not telling him that he's like doing worse.
I don't know how I feel about that.
He was like 13 or something.
No, I think if you're that old, you deserve to know.
I was like, yikes.
The rule is that if you can understand it, you should have agency over it. That's the medical rule. They're like, oh, you're not allowed to tell teenagers they have cancer. Yes, you are. Ethically,
not allowed to?
People act like, because their parents are like, oh, we don't want to tell them they have this. Ethically, if they can understand it, they have the right to know. So teenagers have the right to know what's going on with them if they can understand it. If you can't tell a 5-year-old that who doesn't understand the gravity of it. So you're supposed to be like, whatever their understanding level is, that's what you're allowed to tell them. So you can tell a 13-year-old they have AIDS if they can understand AIDS. That's ethically sound.
Yikes.
That's what I remember. The 10 minutes I remember of a nursing class I took 10 years ago. That may not be true anymore, but it was at the time. And it felt true. Okay.
It felt true.
All these are TikTok videos. So there's this lady. She wrote a book called Ruth's Ducks. It's a book about something that happened to her in her childhood. Her church, I think, did one of those Christmas gift swaps. And she felt like she brought a really good gift and everybody else brought really cool gifts. And then when they got like swapped, and the one that she got was this lame ass duck ornament. And she was a little piece of shit. And she was visibly disappointed in front of the girl named Ruth who had the ducks. And Ruth's family had a bunch of kids and they couldn't afford for all of them to bring a really nice gift to the gift exchange. So the lady who like wrote this book, her mom was like, don't be a little shit. Like, we have good gifts at home. And she was like, pew, I don't like that weird duck ornament. And,
oh my God,
and every year her mom would be like, hey, you should go get Ruth's ducks and put them on the tree. Cause she was trying to like show her that like gifting can be from the heart or whatever. And every year she was like, no, I'm a piece of shit. I don't like that ornament. And then one year she decided, I'm going to be the bigger person and I'm going to put Ruth's ducks on the tree. And now she sells this book to like, and she gives the proceeds to like,
she should give them to Ruth.
Right.
Jesus.
She should give them to Ruth. She gives them to like a shelter or something. And then she showed a picture of Ruth's ducks and they were some ugly fucking ducks. And what a waste of time it was that I had to watch that video.
So you're being a shit?
I said out loud, what a fucking waste of my time.
You're stressing me out.
When I saw, because the lesson that she learned, like, good for you, you embarrassed Ruth. You shit on her gift years after, even though she wasn't still there to see it. And then you didn't give her Ruth might still be poor.
Right.
You should probably send her a check. She's like, and everybody who orders the book, like the proceeds go to charity. And then they get a little plastic version replica of the duck.
God, I hate that.
I said out loud, what a fucking waste of my time. Let me see if I can find you.
That is wild. I don't want to see that.
Because it took her forever. She was like, yeah, I learned my lesson like 8 years later. And she's like, oh, and I have this really successful book of this. To me, it's like that very egocentric, like, oh, this was for my life lesson. Like, the life lesson should be that you need to apologize to Ruth. That girl who shot that guy, and then the judge sentenced her to prison, and her rebuttal was, I don't think I'll learn anything. That's the 2 clips that give off the same energy. Literally, oh, it made me a better person 4 years later.
That is super tragic and sad. What's wrong with you?
I didn't do this.
Where is Ruth? When I was 8 years old, I was a cunt.
The ducks are not as bad as I remember. I remember when I first saw it, I was like, those are the ugliest fucking ducks.
No, you want to know what I thought you were going to talk about? Because one time, I was dating, I was going to say a boy, but literal piece of human shit. And his grandma, something happened, I can't remember. And she was like, I need to give you something. And I was like, what? And she's like, come here. And she goes into the kitchen, she comes out, and she gives me this fucking ceramic chicken. And I was like, I think one time I forgot it, left it at her house, and then the next time she was like, you left your chicken. So then I had to take it home, and then she gave it to me, I think she gave it to me because she didn't like it. So, and then I had it, And it was like not a foot tall and not 6. It was like 9 inches tall. It was the weirdest height. It was like, she gave me the fucking chicken. Then I had the chicken. And then it was ugly as fuck and it couldn't go anywhere. And then I was like, Mom, here's this chicken. And then Mom was like, what do I do with the chicken? So then it was on the fridge for a while. And then we broke up because he was a raging piece of shit. And he was so bad that Mom had to go and like give him, he was like, the only thing he wanted back was his fucking Letterman jacket, even though he was like 20 something and an adult man.
I lettered in high school softball. You better give me back that jacket.
Actually, I think he had given it to his other girlfriend, then asked it for it back, then gave it to me, and then asked for it back. Like, he was just weird. And I was like, I don't want it. Fucking take it.
It was a free use jacket.
And so I was like, here, my mom will give it to you. And so then Mom was like, can I get rid of this fucking chicken now?
She should have given it back to his grandma. She was nice.
So ducks, chickens, that, Ruth. Fucking, I would have rather dealt with Ruth. I should have taken it and left it at his dorm. And,
You should have given it to her for a wedding present.
Okay, so it actually occurred to me the other day that I wonder if he even stayed married, but I don't care enough to look, so.
I think I'm blocked because I never messaged him back.
Anyway, so my last one.
No, it's my turn.
Oh my god, no, it's not. You did
Oh my god. You did the chicken.
That was an add-on to the ducks. It doesn't count, eat shit. So then I was Googling Home Depot because I need a battery now. Kill me.
Mm-hmm.
William Q, 3 months ago, wrote a review of the Home Depot. The Home Depot. I walked in. Now, have you ever seen someone try to be racial in their thing without saying the black person or an African American individual?
A suspicious looking person? Is that what you mean?
So instead of saying, I talked to an African American man at the front counter. So this man went to Home Depot, said, I walked into 1 star. I walked into the Home Depot simply wanting to buy a washer and dryer. A brown-skinned, shoulder-length, black hair, heavy-set woman stepped up. One-eyed, one-horrifying purple people eater. Sir! I couldn't breathe! I was like, he left this on Yelp for everyone to see. And this used to happen when I worked at the airport. We would get on to Glassdoor, and they would be like, the Puerto Rican supervisor at GSP, and it'd be like, oh my god! You can't say that! So they would just people be yelling. He said, I walked into the Home Depot at Atkins Circle, simply wanting to buy a washer and dryer. A brown-skinned, shoulder-length, black hair, heavy-set woman stepped up and what I thought was going to assist me, decided to lie and trick and even tried to cheat me. I was told that my washer and dryer would be delivered Saturday, and after waiting most of the day, the delivery never came. Monday, I went back to ask for a refund and was told they did not have my washer and dryer in stock, so it couldn't be delivered. My lie. My lie, not yours. I was also told my refund could take up to 10 business days. I did not receive my refund when I was told I would. My being tricked. I finally had to get chased.
English is a second language person.
No, I think he's typing too fast to keep up with it because a lot of it's fine.
You can't very aggressively pronounce his mistakes. If so,
no, I think he's typing too fast because all of his I's are lowercase. I think he's literally just angry and typing so fast he didn't check it before he pressed submit.
Okay, go 2 sentences back.
Because he spelled business Busniss, but then everything else is spelled fine. So I did not receive my refund when I was told I would. My being tricked. It was supposed to say I'm being tricked. I finally had to get Chase involved in my refund, and but he spelled additional fine. Additional 4 weeks. I finally did get my refund. I never will return. Not to return to a business who obviously doesn't want someone's business. And he spelled business fine that time. For some strange reason, this woman cost Home Depot a $1,600 sale. Oh well, Lowe's was appreciative to help me and collect the $1,600 sale. I am now in search for a $2,300 log splitter, and Home Depot doesn't have a chance in hell for any further business. Too bad. I have been a customer at this Home Depot for several years.
Okay.
I love that he threw in there at the end that he was going to buy a $2,300.
Why the itemized, right?
Yeah, $2,300 log splitter, but he won't buy it from them.
An itemized list of the purchases you'll be missing from me. Number 1. Number 2.
I also buy a Coke every time I check out.
Why did he think? What benefit did she?
First off, that happens all the time.
What benefit did she have
From buying to him?
This cashier at Home Depot. What benefit would she have,
What
sir?
did he benefit from pointing out her race, hair color, and weight?
When we worked at a grocery store.
Tell me that. Riddle me this, Batman.
Right. When we worked at a grocery store in our younger days, 16 years old, this old ass man was like,
not a man, an ass man.
Why are you always trying to scam me on these peaches? And I was like, not how to scam you on the peaches, sir. Those are Georgia yellow and the sale is on white peaches. And he would be like, no, you're always trying to scam me and make me pay more for these peaches. What do I gain? I don't take this money out of the drawer. What do I gain from you paying $2.49 a pound instead of $1.98 a pound? Nothing. So you can take them. You can just steal them. I don't give a shit. And he'd be like, "You guys are trying to scam us." And I was like, "Shut the fuck up. You can shop it."
Called me this morning and said, "Make sure you charge an extra $1 on everyone's order because we need $1,000 more."
I was not gonna say it was Ingles, but thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Fuck. You can head on across the street to the Harris Teeter, sir. He was like, "You." So I think about that when people are like giving cashiers a hard time. I'm like, "Shut the fuck up."
Speaking of which, I had to go to get cash at a grocery store today, since you said I can't say which one. And the girl who worked there was literally so nice to me. I don't think I was that nice when I was the cashier. And there was like an old person, and I thought this old Grace. I thought the elderly person was stealing detergent because they had put it in the bottom and were like pushing it through and not gonna scan it.
That's funny.
And then she like grabbed it and she hefted it. It was a heavy one, and she like put it up there. She's like, "Oh no, I forgot to have you scan my detergent." I was like, "I thought you were stealing it."
My last one I have saved on my TikTok. It's a game.
No.
Rating Disney boyfriends and how good they would be in bed.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you 5 people. You're going to rate 5 Disney boyfriends in bed.
Ew.
So you have to rank them 1 through 5. 5 being the worst, 1 being the best. The first boyfriend you have to rank in spot 1 through 5. Tarzan in Rationale.
Okay, can I hear all of them before I pick?
No. That's the game.
No.
Because you might say Tarzan is number 5, and then you get a really disgusting one that you have to put in number 4. Then you've disrespected Tarzan.
And you can't move them at all?
Nope.
I don't like that.
Okay, Tarzan.
I will do it if at the end, if I need to shift them around a little bit, you let me.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to go with a 4 in case there's a worse one.
Okay. Do you hear that, Tarzan?
Because he doesn't bathe, except when it rains.
He bathes.
Except when it rains.
He's a 4?
Yeah.
Good news, Tarzan. You're not number 5.
Well, because there's that prince from Frozen who's technically a prince, but is the worst fucking person.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be scary.
Joshua Sweet from Atlantis.
I know nothing about his character or anything, though.
I don't have to know anything about his character.
Put him in the middle, then.
So he's a 3?
Because he is a doctor.
Okay.
But he might be a bad guy. We don't know.
Okay.
Is he a prince? Or is it just character?
I think he's just a character.
Okay, well then, it could be anybody. Oh my god.
Gaston.
We're gonna have to ship those. We'll put him at the bottom.
Why would you shift? That seems correct. Where else would you put Gaston?
Because he's definitely lower than those two, but if there's a worse one,
Prince Charming.
He's safe. He can be a 2 for now.
Okay.
He's safe. He's not gonna throw us down a mine shaft.
Okay, so this is your number 1 spot.
In a southern town.
You have left number...
This
is a very interesting strategy that you've deployed to leave the number 1 spot open. Because if you had a pretty good one, you could put it in the number 1 spot to save yourself from having to put someone weird in the number 1 spot.
My brain doesn't work like everybody else's.
Yeehaw.
OG, though.
Woody's number 1 for you.
Okay, you want to know something that's really fucking weird?
What?
I have one of those dolls.
You're okay with that?
At least he's not going to throw us into mine shaft.
What if he came to life and he was like, this whole time I was waiting for you to be an adult? Like with Faye, like those Faye that are like, I was waiting the whole time for you. Like that guy from Rhapsodic.
Ew.
Do you think people have made like Toy Story fanfiction?
Yes.
Woody has a Woody.
Ew! God!
The freebie. We were watching Toy Story shorts yesterday with Alexander. They were so bad. But one of the
Mom and I were talking
about of the characters was kind of hot. There was this. It was Toy Story. I can't remember the name of it, but it was like a little short film, and it had this little toy dinosaur, and he was hot. I don't give a fuck. They do it on purpose. They know what they're doing. He was an adult dinosaur.
Ew. Creepy.
Miss, I read a tentacle book.
I read that because she was like, she made this video and she was like, all these creature lore, whatever books are so good, right? So good. And I was like, I don't believe you, but I'll read it. And I read it and I was like, I was right. This is so fucking bad. I will never do this again. Holy shitballs. And it was another one of those, oh, I've waited forever for you or whatever. You waited like 150 years for this fucking girl.
Ew.
And oh my God.
That just means you're going to become real fast. I'm not happy about that.
This man was aged as fuck. She's like, oh, I don't mind your octopus tentacles.
Ew.
Sir.
I was trying.
It's called Norse Kraken. Oh, Nora.
I told you there's that book I was reading about.
They're like, this is so romantic.
There was that book I was reading and it was about this girl who death falls in love with her. But
that's probably more romantic than this.
No, because it was very bad. Like when it finally got to the sex scene, he like fucked her with his shadow. Like Peter Pan style, I guess. It was terrible. It was like a whisper of a wiener.
No!
I was like, this is a bad book.
Whenever I see somebody who's doing something ridiculous on the internet, or like people who are like dancing or like twerking when they read a book scene or something, I'm like, first off, this is why men think we're all stupid.
That girl that you don't like who had a whole media kit about how she would like pick your book for her book club and stuff. She has a whole
for $10,000, I'll read your book. Girl, me too.
She has a whole shtick on there about like needing a diaper because she gets so wet reading books.
So then I saw a video, and you remember that girl, and she was like, call me crazy, but I don't like store-bought pesto. And this girl was like, one time I tied a used tampon to a man's door handle. I'm gonna need you to tell me where that girl lives. Because I got a new idea today. When she was like, call me crazy, but I don't like store-bought pesto. And people were like, raise your hand if you were personally victimized by me in the mid-2000s and you saw me in a bar and I hit you in the face. You know when I tell you, like, oh, whenever we have a story or, like, embarrassing thing happens or you do something outrageous, someone else is telling that story from, like, their point of view. And so that's my point was, like, I've punched, like, grown men in the face. And I'm like, but those men somewhere are telling, like, a story where they're like, this feral child beat me about the face.
They don't do that. They go home and they refuse to go to therapy and then their relationship crumbles.
Like, if I pop up on your For You page, like, throw back to the early 2000s, because Grace loves to discuss purity culture. It's one of her favorite, like...
I don't love it. I was traumatized by it. I can't get away from it, so I'll talk about it sometimes.
It's her, what's it called? Her Roman Empire or whatever?
My white whale.
No, when they say, how many times a day do you think about the Roman Empire? Grace thinks about purity culture all the time. And so one time...
How many times a day do I feel weird about having sex with my own husband?
Raise your hand if you've watched the show Psych. And the first episode of Psych, there is a hat, and he says...
oh my God.
And it says free mustache rides, right? And I didn't know what that meant. We were grown, and a lot of people had a crush on this one man, and I didn't like him. But we went on this, like, rafting creek trip, because there's nothing to do around here but that. And so people will go and, like, splash in the creek. And so he was like, guys, should I grow out a mustache? Like, do you think the ladies will, you know? And I was like, I don't know. I don't care. If you grow a mustache, I think you got to get one of those hats that say free mustache rides, right? And everyone's heads, like, whip around at me, and I'm like, what? I still didn't pick up on, like, what that meant, and I just kept stomping in the creek. And apparently that is a sex joke.
Apparently it's a sex joke. It's about riding a face, Eva. Apparently it's a sex joke.
No, but at the time, me was like, what?
Yes, it's a sex joke.
Yeah. So then, the next week, I was out with my mom eating at Firehouse Subs, and he was out with his mom eating at Firehouse Subs. And I was sitting, and I was, like, eating, right? And he sits down, and he goes, hey, Eva. And people don't trust me in public. And so I was just like, yes. And he was like, did you leave your shirt in my car? And I was like, first off, I was never in your car. Secondly, I wouldn't leave my shirt there. He was like, I found a tank top in my car. I was like, no. And I went back to eating my food. And then my mom was like, I can't take you in public.
Thank you for listening to Read It and Screech. If you'd like to support the podcast, you can rate, review, and subscribe, or find us on TikTok and Instagram at ScreecherPod. Don't listen with your mom in the car, or my mom.